Ready? Simon, trying to record a video here, buddy. Trying to record a video, dude. This is what you get when you hop on a video with me. Love you, but... yeet. All right, let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do something I don't normally do, which is, well, I do deck profiles, but I normally don't do it in this format, so I apologize if it's a little off, but gonna try something new because I don't own all these cards yet, and I just want to talk about it because the other day Frank Castle put out a deck profile that he did with his group. My cat just jumped in my lap again. That, you know, just they're building Soul Striker, and I love Soul Striker. It's probably my favorite leader, one of my favorite leaders. If not my absolute number one. That alongside SS3 Goku. I love the card. I love its ability. I played Soul Striker for the longest time. I ordered the collector's edition for the collector's binder for that reprint, and then literally not even a couple, like maybe a week or so after that I got it, they nerfed it, which I still to this day believe was an unfair nerf. There was no reason to do it because we got a self-inclusive archetype literally right afterwards with the Gamma archetype, which worked great. But anyway, long story short, he built it, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. Let me build that and see how it does. And surprisingly, it's doing fairly well. Now, I don't believe at all it's better than SS3 Goku. I believe this, at best, I believe this is a solid rogue archetype. So I want to go over it with you. Obviously, the front side is Super Saiyan God Son Goku. When this card attacks, you can either draw a card or untap one of your mono... Is it mono blue energy? I think it's mono blue energy. Hold on, I have the leader around here somewhere. Aha. Yes, it is mono blue energy to active mode. The early awaken condition has been removed. It is now if your life is at 4 or less, draw 2 cards and flip this card over. So what I've been doing with my leader is I actually have run 2. The one on the front is the new errata text, which we got in the anniversary box. And on the back side, I have the new shiny collector's boy. I love this art. It's one of my favorite leader arts in the game. But anyway, on the back side, when this card attacks, draw 2. Sorry, draw 1 and untap 2. That'd be amazing if it did both. It's solid. I really like the leader. Like I said before, but the whole point of this deck really is just you're constantly managing your resources, untapping things, playing new things, comboing, of course, with the new Zenkai mechanics, and a lot of the new blue Z battle cards really just make this deck pop. And we'll go over it here. My list is not the same. I did take his as a base, but I have tweaked it a little bit because I feel like certain cards just aren't solid enough to be in the deck like full time. You know, I think certain cards are better to be put in the sideboard for maybe slower games. Also, this is a deck I may play at Nats, and certain cards in the deck are not going to be available before Nats, like the promo Android 17 counterattack. So it's a great card, but it's not one that I can play. So anyway, real quick, of course, SS Trunks God Sailing Technique. Of course, it's kind of a blue staple. Run 2. 4 Dimension Magics because Dimension Magic's the best blue negate. Or one of the best blue negates. 2 SS God Son Goku Miraculous Transformation. Maybe I might hop this up to 3, but so far 2's been okay. 3, I still think I might just up it to 3, but solid card because you need it to, you know, stop a wide board. 3 Senzu Bean, even with the errata, I think 3 Senzu Bean's great. I mainly played it for defensive purposes. I can definitely understand where it would have been really good in Soul Striker offensively, but I still think 3's solid for defense. 2 Child's Army tokens because gotta have it. 2 baby Golden Avengers, one of Blue Staples, 2 Majin Buu Unisons, because it's still the best blue unison in the game. 4 Realm of the God Beerus Destroys, great card to play early on for defense purposes, or even offensively, because you can bounce cards back to your opponent's hand that are way higher cost than their current energy. 4 Vegeta Disciplined Warrior, because the fact that we want to get to 4 life as quickly as possible, I feel like this is just the best super combo to use. Now here's where some of the new stuff comes into play. Son Gohan Power Reclaimed, Deflect Triple Attack 20k. When this card is played, I choose up to one of my opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of their deck. So great for board removal. Of course, can't get around barrier. Its really cool ability, though, is when this card gets placed into your Z energy, you can pay 1 to choose one of your opponent's battle cards at the cost of 5 or less and place it at the bottom of their deck. So there's a couple different ways you can work with it. If you want to build up your Z energy, then this is a great way to just board clear things while you're ramping up your energy. Of course, if your leader is a... Sorry, I'm still learning some of these newer cards. I have a proxy version of it here. Activate battle, limit 3 energy regardless. If your leader is blue or a master's teaching card and your life is at 4 or less, play this card from your hand. So you play this during your battle step for 3, and then you get to bottom deck a battle card on their board when it's played. So it is just solid fun. And then it's a 20k triple attack, meaning 3 attacks with it. So applying lots of pressure. Another new card, Son Goku and Vegeta Immortal Rivalry. This card is essentially one of the main cards of the deck. It's one of the staples, and I think for going forward, it's really going to be a blue staple for any type of deck. But its main thing is when this card is played, you draw a battle card. I'm sorry, not battle card, I'm sorry. When this card is played, draw 1. When this card is removed from the battle area, remove it from the game instead. So you can't just keep cycling it through the Z deck. Z energy, that'd be insane. Here's the thing. Here's why it's awesome. Activate battle, limit 1, tap a blue energy. If your leader is blue and this card is in your Z energy, and I discard 1 card from my hand, I may use up to 2 mono blue cards at 5k combo power from my drop area in a combo with their skills negated for the turn. Additionally, if there are 3 or more cards in my combo area, play this card. So you automatically get 2, and then you just combo a 3rd card from your hand, play this, you draw a card, so you get back the card that you had to discard to use it, and then you have another 15k combo, there's a 15k battle card on the board. Or you can just leave this in your battle area and just tap 1, discard 1 to combo 2 cards from your drop. So you're constantly comboing to build stuff in your Z energy. It's a solid card, and it, like I said, it's one of the staples in this deck. Sorry, I got the deck over here, like, proxied out. Son Gohan and Piccolo, heroic team. This card is one of the big battle cards of the deck. It's a energy exhaust dual attack, limit 1, 19k. When this card attacks, draw 1, and if your opponent has a battle card in play, this card gets 5k power for the battle. So, since it attacks, you'll get 24k on the first attack, but then 19k on the second. I wish it was for the rest of the turn, but, you know, we can't all have what we want. And then once per turn, if I have 5 or more Z energy or 2 or more Z battle cards in play, it's an activate main, by the way, choose it to one of my opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or more, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of their deck. So barrier removal, which is very important for blue, since blue doesn't really have a whole lot of it. And then the way to get it out is activate battle. You can pay a blue or yellow. If my leader is blue or a yellow, and I have 3 or more blue and or yellow cards in my combo area, play this card from my hand. So you use Immortal Rivalry to get 2 of the cards you need in combo. Then you combo a 3rd one from your hand. You then can play Immortal Rivalry and pay another energy to play Heroic Team. So all in all, you are paying about 2 energy for all this, if I'm not mistaken. And that's awesome. Just getting a lot of resources, a lot of attacks for your energy, a lot of board removal. It's solid. Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, Mortals Be Gone. One of the new cards in the anniversary box. If when this card is played, You draw a card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 4 or less, and bottom deck it. More board removal. Love it. I'm loving how they went back to putting cards at the bottom of the deck instead of back into their hand, because if it's back in their hand, guess what? They can just combo with it. It was a horrible archetype around that. It's also a double strike, 20k. You can play it for 1, activate, and it is activate battle? Sorry, it won't let me zoom in on it. Yes, activate battle. So a lot of these cards will interface in the battle step. You pay 1. If your leader is a Zamasu or Goku Black or Blue, and you have 3 or more Z energy, play this from your hand. So this all really is in the battle step, and because this can be played off of when your leader swings in and you get your untap 2. It's just, there's a whole lot you can do with it, and that's why I really like this deck. But this is just later game pressure or early game combo fodder. SS Trunks, the Interceptor, running at 3 because we need early awakeners. So when this card attacks, adds 1 card from my life to my hand. This card gets 14k power. Sorry, 11k power, so it goes up to 15k. And then at the end of my turn, switch one of my blue energy to active mode. So it replaces stuff at the end of the turn, which I can then use that energy for Beerus Destroys, or Senzu Bean, or Dimension Magic, whatever I need. 1 KO Rampaging Demon. I know Frank ran 2, but I rarely ever got to 7 energy. So it's hard for me to want to run her in anything more than just the 1. But she is very good, obviously. Deflect, double strike. You have 7 or more energy. Blow up your opponent's board. Get barrier and dual attack. Solid. 2 Sun Goku Great Ape Saiyan Instinct, because if you don't have anything in your hand and you need to get more cards in hand, draw 2. Early combo fodder also. Baby the Unknown Parasite. This is an odd one because unisons I still feel like are essential, at least for blue decks, and it's either between this one and the 17 and 18 unison, but I also want cards in my drop so I can use the Son Goku and Vegeta Eternal Rivalry. That's why I'm running this instead. It's just, if my opponent, if the game's going a little slow, I play this just to, keep drawing cards, and then it's -5, so that way I can use the -5 to activate Baby Golden Avenger for free, or by discarding 2 cards from hand. It's definitely helped me win a game before. A couple games, actually. 2 copies of Son Goku and Vegeta Saiyan Synergy. This is just a card I threw in there because, like I said, you can't run the 17 in there. But I think it's a solid. It's a 1k negate attack, and then if my opponent keeps attacking, I can just bottom deck it to give my leader essentially a bean for the turn. And so far it's been pretty handy. The main Awakener I feel like in this deck is going to be Awakening Talent Pan. It's even in the name. Same deal with Trunks. When she swings in, I can give her choose 1 card from my hand and give her 10k power. And then at the end of my turn, this is why I think she's more important than like the Goten card Frank was running and the Trunks. As at the end of my turn, I can bring her back to my hand. Too many cards can get rid of battle cards pretty easily, and I don't want to leave them out on the battlefield. So it's great to swing in with her and bring her back to my hand, because then I know she's safe. Yeah, true, next turn I might have to pay an energy to play her again, but I also can use her as combo fodder if need be, if my opponent just goes ham on me next turn with a bunch of swings. So I'll have to see how that runs. So far, not too bad. And finally, the SCR of the deck is Son Gohan Beyond the Ultimate. This card is phenomenal in Soul Striker. It's an ultimate, obviously 40k. When this card is played, choose up to choose all my opponent's battle cards in unisons, ignoring barrier. They go back to their hand. If my opponent then has more cards in their hand than I have in my hand, then they bottom deck a life. So it's amazing. You automatically crit a life. It's not really crit a life, but they get rid of 1. I can play it for only 2 energy. Activate main. If my leader is blue and I have 3 or more energy, and I place 2 of my opponents, 2 of my cards from my hand at the bottom of my deck, play this card. So I do have to drop 2 cards, tap 2, play it. But then I can swing in with my leader to get those 2 energy back. Now, this is why it's amazing. The activate main / battle once per turn, so I can activate this on my battle step or my opponent's battle step. Choose up to 2 of my cards. Whether it be energy, battle cards, unison, leader. Switch them to active mode. If I switch Gohan to active mode in this way, he gains crit for the turn. So in a perfect world, pay 2, play him. Untap 2 with Goku to so attack with Goku to untap 2. Then use swing in with Gohan, activate his ability, untap Gohan, and untap my leader. Swing in with Gohan again for 40k crit, and then swing in with Goku again to untap another 2. And essentially draw 2. It's such a cool little combo that you essentially pay 2, but you untap 4 that turn. And you draw 2 off your leader, because Goku's ability is not once per turn, it's just when he attacks. Yeah, I think that's amazing. It's such an odd feeling to play a blue deck without running Baby Hatch, but this just runs too perfectly with Soul Striker. And now, Z battle cards. Of course, you run 2 copies of Cell, the Awakening of the Created. It's just a board wipe. That's just really important in this game because blue needs to get rid of wide boards because blue can't handle hyper aggro early on. 1 copy of Vegito, Godly Spirit, because this is just one of the best blue boss monsters you can get. Triple Strike, Barrier, Blocker, Deflect. At the end of your turn, you switch one of your cards to... I switch it to active mode. My opponent bomb decks a card on their battlefield and 1 card from their hand. Vegeta, Surmounting the Impossible, of course, for early awakening tech if my opponent will just not hit me and I can't find any of my other cards. New cards. Beerus, Airy, Annihilator. This just is insane. Barrier, when this card attacks, choose one of my opponent's battle cards with a cost greater than their current energy and place it at the bottom of their deck. This card gets 5k power for the turn. Then, activate main once per turn, tap 2 blue. So overall, you're tapping 4. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, switch this card back to active mode, choose one of my opponent's battle cards, ignoring Barrier, and place it at the bottom of their deck. And then this card gets dual attack for the turn. So essentially, this card can overall swing in 3 times, bomb decking a card each time. And it's Barrier, so it's not going to get rid of that easy. It's insane. So you swing in for 15, then 20, then 25. It's awesome. And finally, Son Goku, Stronger Together. This card really is just a one-of solely for the Gogeta players. It's Barrier, Deflect, so it's going to come in. If my leader's mono blue and this card is played, if my opponent has 11 or more cards in their hand, they place a card from their hand at the bottom of their deck in any order until they have 10 cards in their hand. So Gogeta players with their fat hand, yeah, this card gets rid of that. Still, 10 cards is a lot, but cuts it down pretty big for Gogeta players. Sideboard, 2 Dirty Burst, because that's the only way to stop Gogeta, and it's unfortunate, but gotta play it. Maybe I might up those to 3. Jiren, Survival of the Fittest, for mirror matches. 1 copy of Android 17, Turning the Tide, because who knows, maybe I might be able to play a slow game and get up to 7 energy. 2 copies of Another World Blitz. It might just be a better boss monster to play, or if I want to play something a little bit more defensive, I can swap out Kale or Golden Ape for 2 of these. Solid card. 2 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan, because, who knows, I might, need it against those decks that can play a bunch of cards for free. Kotsukai, Mechanical Courage, great against U7, and hopefully going to prepare for that last swing. Hirudegarn was in the main build, but I decided that it was more cumbersome in my hand. It was really hard to get out on the board, so I feel like in slower games, he's great. He might be a great card to play in those slower games to help build up energy for me to play 7 cost cards. But I think right now he's better in the sideboard. 2 copies of Intoxicated by Justice to get rid of those blue silver bullets, because for some reason they're still around. And finally, because I really couldn't think of too much else to play, I'm running 2 God Slicing Black Kamehamehas for the counterplay. I can essentially play it for free if my leader's mono blue by just discarding 2 cards from hand, and then he lets me draw 1. So essentially just discarding 1 to counterplay a card with cost of 4 or less. But yeah, this is what I'm currently testing. Don't know if I'll play this at Nats, but let me know what you guys think about this list. Like I said, I love Soul Striker. I love that I'm playing him again, and that this format seems to have given him a lot of really cool tools. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And until the next video, take care.